What's up, Divine Feminines? It's your boy Swanks here, Real Divine Masculine. We're just here today with some messages for Divine Feminine for October 10th and 17th. Let's see, what do you guys need to know, Divine Feminines? First card that popped out is honesty. It says I can't always expect honesty from other people, but I can expect it from myself. And I feel like this is really trying to say is to really honor your intuition right now. Honor who you are, and honor the truth of who you are and the true essence of who you are. And don't block that out, Divine Feminine. A lot of times, Divine Feminine are so massive. And when I say massive, I mean massive spiritually in terms of the energy and space that they take up, right? And it's so easy for Divine Feminine to want to shrink, to fit into society. Not because Divine Feminine is a follower, Divine Feminine is not a follower, but Divine Feminine doesn't want to lose the common touch. She wants to be able to relate to people, even though people cannot relate to her always because her energy is so expansive, because she's constantly ascending and constantly working on herself, right? Because she triggers people who don't want to wake up because their higher self is like, leave me alone, I don't want to see, I don't want to know. Don't tell me the truth about myself because it's going to force me to look at myself. So sometimes Divine Feminine shrinks herself to fit into that, but I feel like the universe is telling Divine Feminine, no. You work so hard to be this honest and authentic version of yourself to get to the point that you're at right now. There's a need for you to sustain that. There's a need for you to make the conscious decision to honor that. You cannot always expect honesty from other people. This could be in platonic relationships. It could be a mother and father. You can't always expect them to keep it real with you. It could be, brothers and sisters and friends. You can't always expect them to keep it real with you. It could be a partner. You can't always expect them to keep it real with you. But you know that you can count on yourself to keep it real with yourself. You know you can count on you to keep it a buck with you. And I think right now, Divine Feminine, that's of the utmost importance. And I really feel like that's what this card is. So let's get into it. If you haven't yet, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If the messages resonate with you, leave a comment, let me know. Follow me on Instagram if you want to get connected with me that way. It's at the Real Divine Masculine. I'm just excited to be here with y'all. I hope these messages resonate, but if they don't resonate, don't make them apply. Please just take what does resonate and leave the rest behind. Always trust your own inner high priest and high priestess. Otherwise, you can be led astray by messages. So you'll know if something resonates with you because your higher self will identify with it. Your higher self will say, that shit resonates with me. So, first card out that just flew out is the Ten of Swords. It talks about a betrayal, painful endings, harsh endings, but the ship in the background talks about moving forward after a painful and a harsh ending, or some type of betrayal. So the Ten of Swords is actually the end of the sword. It's like the end of some kind of painful ending. And this kind of goes along with what I was saying before about really needing to honor who you are and honor the things that you had to end as a result of staying true to yourself. It may be painful for you to walk away from things or have to have had to walk away from friendships, relationships, in order for you to maintain your integrity and maintain and sustain who you are genuinely. But you've worked to be that person, so why would you take a backward step to an older version of yourself? When you ascend, essentially, it's like the old version of you dies. So there is no need for you to resurrect that older version of yourself when the new version of yourself is more esteemed, more well-versed. They've already learned lessons that the older version of you hasn't learned. So it's like you're sharper than you were before. You wouldn't unsharpen a pencil to use it. So why would you unsharpen yourself? Why would you shrink yourself to fit? There's a need for you to take your ass onto this ship and leave this shit that you are unrelatable to some people. People cannot relate to it, so that's why, or sometimes they get jealous of it. They get jealous of your divinity or how authentic you are. But you have a responsibility to stay authentic, or you can make the choice to come out of union with yourself, to go into union with them. But that always leads to this feeling cheated, feeling betrayed, because only you gonna keep it real with yourself. I mean, other people could keep it real, but you keep it a bug with you. What is this Ten of Swords? It's like the end of a cycle, but the beginning of something new. It's a new way of accepting yourself. This is just too many cards. This is just way too many cards. Why are they? Just one card. So this is about, it was the Ace of Cups. So this could be about a relationship too. About a past betrayal affecting a new relationship. You see how this ship is in the same, like this ship is the ship that you were supposed to get your ass on after you was hurt and betrayed in the past. You see how it's traveling through the ocean to a new person? Yeah, but you still got the Ten of Swords in your bag. And you're not unlocking this abundance, this abundant new beginning with this new person, because the past is still, you don't know everything about the past. Because you can't always count on what other people say. You can't always count on other people. There's something about the past that you feel like you need to know, and the divine is like, you need to trust you. You need to trust what you know, your truth, who you are, and not worry about the past betrayal. And now that your ships have come in, it's time for you to ride the wave. It's time for you to embark in that journey. This is Olokun right here. A lot of people are familiar with the Orisha. They might have for Maya, but Olokun is also a divinity that lives in the oceans, the depths of the oceans, and he contains all the secrets. He or she contains all the secrets of love, of life, in this treasure chest. And it's like this person to you is a mystery right now. But they have a treasure that's so beautiful. They are a gift. They are a treasure. But it's like you have to go deep into the ocean. You have to go deep to find it. You have to get deep to get to it. You can't be on the surface. Right now, you're on the surface of the water, but the treasure is deep. So it's like you might be on the surface, have a surface level relationship with this person right now, and it may be that way on purpose because there's a need for you to walk away from what happened to you before. Otherwise, this ship is gonna go right past this motherfucker, and it's like you're gonna miss out on love. You're gonna miss out on the treasure. You're gonna miss out on the unknown of what you didn't get to experience. What is this? It's like right now you might be beefing. Or you might be in conflict with whoever you're dealing with. And I see you just being defensive. It's like got your sword out right now because of all the swords you had in your back before. You're like, now, when you motherfuckers come toward me, it's gonna be different. And that's fine. But there's a need to temper that with certain people, especially people who are love interests. You have to have that energy, but you also have to this is like in this picture. This is about seeing things from two perspectives, right? Both perspectives are right, but there's a duality that you need to have in terms of your perspective. That's why I said it's not bad to have this energy, but there's a need to temper yourself. There's a need to see things from a different perspective. The story of this card is like while he was walking down the street and he had on an outfit, half of it was red and half was black. So the people on the right side of the street said, "Oh, you saw his outfit? It was so fly. He had on this black outfit, da 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 da. He was tripped down." And then the people on the left side of the street was like, "Yo, you saw his like wild outfit? He had on that red drip. It was all red, da 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 da." So the people was like, on the right side of the street was like, his outfit was not red, it was black. And the people on the left side of the street was like, no, his outfit was red. Remember that dress that came out and some people saw it as being like white and gold, and then some people saw it as being blue and black? It's the same type of thing. It's about perception. It's about your perception of the past is getting in the way of what is right in front of you now, the treasure that's in front of you now. It's like there's a need. They both were right though. They were fighting over what color his outfit was, only for him to walk back down the street in the opposite direction, and now everybody who was on the right side saw the red outfit, and everybody who was on the left saw the black, and then they had to apologize to each other because they understood then that they were only seeing it from their perspective. And so there's a need for you to have an open mind and see things from two perspectives. You understand? There's a need to see things from two perspectives, and not to be rash, and not to walk away or miss out or be combative and conflicted when it comes to relationships, career. Honor your truth and honor what you know to be true, but don't be so defensive and combative that you miss out on what is truly meant for you. Yes, okay, let it is, right? This talks about, to me, like somebody who's grounded, right? In all like Orisha ceremonies, or like, in a lot of ancient, traditional practices, belief systems, rituals, etc., etc. They use drums, they use music. We know this, right? But this person who's playing the bata, which is a special drum you use, he has to have control. He can't just get on the drum and start going crazy and doing whatever he wants to. He has to keep a rhythm. Because if he's too fast, he's all over the place, and the energy is too sporadic. And if he's too slow, then it's not invoking enough energy. It's not bringing enough energy into the space. If he's doing too much, the energy is chaotic. If he's not doing enough, there's not enough energy to pull down and to bring spirit into the space. They use this to calm the spirits. So he has to ground himself. He has to be in the middle. He has to see things from both perspectives, right? In order to not miss this. So male or female, this person is connected to the divine. No lie. This person can call on the spirits. It's a gift to call on the spirits. But if he doesn't control his gifts, he can be irrational. He can be erratic. The energies around him can be erratic. It can be just all over the place, chaotic. And if he's too passive, and if he's too calm, then it's not enough. It's not enough energy to sustain the connection. So the divine is asking you to be strategic right now. What I love about this strength card is usually on the strength card there's a lion. We know lions are like super aggressive. They're just seen as like being like, you know, like the biggest beast of the wild. You know what I'm saying? That type of energy. And this is the leopard. And leopards are so cool because leopards are like all other like, you know, big cats. They don't kill for sport. So they're strategic. They'll sit in the tree and they'll wait and they'll wait. And they'll say, this is just what I need. They take just enough. So this is about knowing when to strike. They're not just going to kill every single thing that they come across. They're not going to go after everything. They're strategic about how they move. So this goes into that energy about being strategic about how you move. It's a need to ground yourself to be strategic. To get what you want in the long term. The reason that the leopard is used in a lot of African cultures is because of the spots on it. They represent lineage. They represent lineage. Each spot represents a different generation. So if we thought of ourselves as jaguars, each spot on us would represent our mom, great-grandmother, our father, great-grandfather, so forth and so on, back all the way to the beginning of time. Some of you, this is why that's coming up. It's like your ancestors also had this problem of needing to temper their energy. It's not bad that you carry certain energy. It's just you cannot let the past. You need to use the past experiences in a more strategic way instead of letting them make you resentful. You need to use them towards your advantage. You need to make them like it's so fucking crazy. It's like you gotta take a traumatic experience and make it like spin it. You gotta spin it to make yourself the winner. You're always the winner in your story, no matter what. But you have to convince yourself of that. You have to see yourself as the predator and not the prey. Because when you see yourself as being the one that's most capable, that's the most strategic, that's controlled, that doesn't just kill for sport, that's seasoned, that's about this, that can control themselves, that can align themselves, that can keep themselves centered and connected with spirit, who can see both perspectives, whose pain doesn't keep them fucking, tethered to the past, then you can unlock the abundance that you really want, which is love. Some new beginning in love. It could be a relationship. Probably is. But this doesn't have to be love. It could be just something you love. Yeah, when you do this, it's going to change something for you. It's going to be the end of a karmic cycle. And the beginning of something so beautiful. I love how all the colors are here on this card. But also, we see the cycles. All different type of cycles. And how each one leads to the next. And they're all intertwined. So nothing happens by mistake or design. You start to see that the things that hurt you in the past were there to actually get you out of this energy and show you that you're this one. So how are you going to flip what happened to you in the past? Seven of Swords. To teach yourself that actually it's like boot camp. It's like one of the spiritual boot camp. You came here. You agreed to some of the stuff with God. It's like you told God, I want to be the strongest version of myself that I've ever been. I'm not incarnate this time. And he's like, oh, okay, well, if you want to do that, you got to go through a couple failed relationships. You got to be cheated on about 2 or 3 times. I talked about lineage, you chose, some of you chose before you incarnated, you told God you wanted to have a certain level of strength, you wanted to show up a certain way in the world. And he said, okay. Well, then these things are going to happen. And you came out of them the fucking leper. So be thankful for that, but the leopard is still strategic. So you still have to get what you want, right? You don't just attack anything. When it's something that you want, you gotta play the game. You gotta be strategic. You gotta be smart. You have to use what happened to you in the past to your advantage. And this is not about juggling. It's about balance. See how he's on the unicycle? The only way that he can do this amazing shit and be as amazing as he is by having balance. Being able to balance the scales within himself. And release the anxiety. A lot of you have like anxiety surrounding relationships and love now because of what happened in the past. And I can't blame you. It's like here, all the apples have knives in them. And that's how you see apples. I mean, that's not how you see apples. But the apples are representative of, like, let's say people in relationships. You see an apple, it's pretty and it's shiny, but you see it as having a knife inside of it. You don't want to even bite into it because you're like, if I bite into that, I'm going to get cut. We have anxiety because of what happened in the past. I think all apples are bad apples. And so, this is how you show up. Arms crossed, like, yeah. I heard all that shit before. What do you need to do? But you need to tap back into the Son of Baskets energy, which is really the Page of Cups energy, which is like a childlike energy. You need to go back to that childlike energy. I want a lot of you to think of how love was the first time you felt love, like how innocent you felt, right? Before the heartbreak. You need to go back to that energy when it comes to dating and relationships. It's not going to be the same because you're so much more developed now. So there's certain shit that would never fly, right? There's certain things that would never fly that would have flown maybe when you were 15 or 16. Of course, it would never fly, but the excitement about love again. You need to be excited about love. You need to be excited about working in relationships. You need to be excited about leaving one person behind and moving on to the next without pitting them against each other. Being like, this one did this last time, or this one is better than this one. All of your exes and all of your partners are on the same team. And you all play for the same team. It's like, maybe in the 3D, you have these issues with your exes that were never resolved, and you feel like you hate each other, But in the spiritual world, your higher selves know that you have an agreement, and it's like, I see it like this. It's like, imagine your higher self and the higher self of all of your exes sitting around one table together. It's like they came up with an agreement. Okay, in our relationship, I'm going to teach you this, and you're going to teach me this. So this strength energy, all the dots, I mean not all the dots, but all the spots on the Jaguar, is kind of the same idea. Each relationship you're winning, you gain something. You gain like a new badge, right? To become this predator that you are right now, this strategic moving it's like when I go into a new relationship now, for example, if the person is doing something that's shady, that's raising a red flag to me, and it's reminding me and triggering some memories of a past relationship, it's like the higher self and the other person being like, nah, you ain't gonna fall for that. Remember I told you that? Remember I did that before? And you learn from that, right? You learn from me, because I hurt you so. Remember I hurt you bad that time? Yeah, I did that. I taught you how to get past that. I taught you how to be smart enough to not fall for that again. Right? And then later on down the line, they have some experience where they like, fuck, I wish I would have treated that person better. And your higher self is like, yeah. Remember I told you how to treat people because you treated me bad, and now you had to learn a lesson, but you're gonna be better next time. You're gonna be better. It's like I have this agreement. It's like I'm looking out for each other in the 5D. I have an agreement. You're gonna learn this from me, and I'm gonna learn this from you. You're going to learn self-confidence and self-respect from me. And I'm going to learn how to treat people from you. And how not to treat people. That's just an example. But this is asking you to go back to this energy before all those relationships, knowing that the lessons that you had allow you to be able to do this. Because this is vulnerable. You can be vulnerable because of everything that you already went through. Think of each of these lines as a different X. This is a non-betrayal. This is all of them. But you can trust yourself. I can't always count on others for the truth, but I can count on myself for the truth. Because you've been through all of it. So you know you can rely on yourself. You can rely on what you already know. You can rely on the lessons, the relationships that you've already been through. We were each other's teachers. You can rely on the lessons that you learned from the ex that cheated on you. Oh, I won't do that again. Or the one that took from you. Oh, I won't do that again. I won't give what I receive. You learn from each one of them. And they learn the lesson too. And sometimes it doesn't happen simultaneously, but it does happen concurrently. That's why when you leave the ex and you move on, they come back. Because that's the moment that it shifts. That's the moment that you create the shift. The moment that you realize the lesson and you learn it and you release them, it's when their lesson begins. Your lesson finishes and their lesson begins. But they were cheering you on to get over them. They're like, yeah, get the fuck over me so you can fucking finish. So you can complete this task. This is what we came here to do together. This is what we agreed to do. Not just go into the union, not just cause each other heartbreak, but we also agreed to learn something from this lesson. What did we agree to learn from this lesson? Divine Feminine, once you figure that out, you're able to completely close the cycle and move into the new cycle. This is the new cycle. This is the new perspective you need to go into it. To see things from a different perspective. You beefing with your exes down here, but in the fucking ethers, they're like, yo, you was right. Yo, thank you for teaching me that. Because you saved me. If I didn't learn that lesson with you, I don't even know. Y'all have saved each other. You've been saved. Love your exes. Have love for them. Have compassion for them. Have compassion for the things that they did, the mistakes that they made. Y'all were all on the same team. It was like a team. Remember the story of Elegua when he came back down the street, they saw the opposite side of his outfit. And then they had to go apologize to each other and say, you know what, you were right. I shouldn't do that. And they said, no, you were right. Because I shouldn't have done that. A lot of times in relationships, it's easy to see what the other person did, even if they were just completely in the wrong. But sometimes we have to see what did we agree to. It's not just about what happened in the 3D. It's about what did we agree to in the spirit world. What did we agree to learn from each other? This is the dog that's usually on the full card. It's like taking a risk and then ended up heartbroken at the end. Some of you are afraid to take a risk because you're afraid you're gonna end up like this. You're afraid to do this. Be vulnerable. Be open. Be in your childlike energy because you're afraid of this. Because you felt like that before. And you feel like all apples are bad apples. But you gotta bring some balance to this. Because you're protected. You see this unicycle that he's riding on is surrounded by a circle of salt. Salt is like, he made like a protection circle around himself. So you're protected. And it's like you're anticipating like heartbreak, and the dog is like, bitch, are you okay? Like, you good? One last card. Yeah. This is about 6 of coins, equal give and take. It's gonna be different this time. So take the risk. You see, they're gambling. It's like taking a risk. It's telling you to take the risk because you win. This is career. You win money. This relationship is like equal give and take, or they might just give you money. But it's worth taking the risk. It's worth the gamble. You see her scratching her hand. It's like a thing. Caribbean culture is like money coming to you, good things coming to you, your hands itching. Some of your hands are itching. You don't know why. It's because money's coming to you, love coming to you, abundance coming to you, equal give and take coming to you. What you didn't have before coming to you. Alright, Divine Feminine. I'm going to leave you guys right here. But it was amazing chilling with y'all. If you like this reading, if it resonates again, I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Share the channel. Also on my Instagram, The Real Divine Masculine. Make sure you follow me up there. Stay connected with me. Much love to y'all. Talk to you soon.